welcome to the Speeding Bulletin report for the week March 21st to March 27th, 2008. My name's Steve Younis from supermanhomepage.com, and here's all the Superman related news for this past week. Firstly, Kate Bosworthforums.com has posted an interview with Kate in which she discusses the sequel to Superman Returns and online comments about her role as Lois Lane, while DarkHorizons.com interviewed Kevin Spacey about his new film titled 21, and during the interview talked to him about returning as Lex Luthor in the next Superman movie. Neal Bailey reviewed Confessions of a Superhero, which is a documentary out on DVD. He said, Confessions of a Superhero is a damn good documentary, an interesting exploration about the dream to become famous, or at least a practicing artist, told from the perspectives of DC's holy trinity of comic book characters, Superman, Batman and Wonder Woman, and with Joe McQueen, the Incredible Hulk. If you haven't checked out this DVD, I highly recommend it. In television news, Barry Fryman has updated Superman's appearances in the Batman animated series by updating our episode guide with his summary of the two-part series finale, Lost Heroes. Barry has also written his review for the same episode, so drop by and check them both out if you haven't already. Peter McDermott updated our Smallville episode guide with his summary of the 14th episode of Season 7 titled Traveller, while Neal Bailey and Douglas Trumbull have written their reviews for the same episode, with Doug giving it a 4.5 out of 5, saying, some important steps in this entire series-long story arc were taken tonight, while Neal also enjoyed it, giving it a 4 out of 5 rating, saying, all in all, a brutal episode with character development and mythology. The 15th episode of Smallville Season 7 aired in the US on Thursday, March 27th. Titled Veritas, this episode saw Kara decide to teach Clark how to fly in order to strengthen his chances against Brainiac. However, Brainiac seems to have the upper hand against the super cousins, and some of Clark's loved ones are caught in the crossfire. Look for our episode summary and 2 reviews of this episode in the next few days. Jeffrey Bridges has updated the Legion of Superheroes episode guide with his summary of the most recent episode, In Your Dreams. He's also written his review for this same episode, which he rated a 2 out of 5. Legion of Superheroes splits its swan song over 2 weekends, beginning with the premiere of the first half of the 2-part series finale, entitled Dark Victory Part 1, on Saturday, March 29. The episode airs on Kids WB on the CW at 9:30 AM in the US. The second half of the episode will air on Saturday, April 5th. Look for Jeffrey's episode summary and review in a few days' time. Lastly, executive producer of Smallville Brian Peterson spoke to Sci-Fi Wire about the upcoming April 17th episode of the show titled Descent. In regards to Lex Luthor, he said, there is a major turn that happens in his life that drives him into pure darkness. It's Lex's real descent into the villain he becomes. Courtesy of SportsTalkCleveland.com's Paul Belfi, we were pleased to be able to present AM Mayhem's near 30-minute interview with DC Comics artist Neal Adams. The interview covers many subjects including Superman, Batman, the direction of the DC Universe, fan reactions to all of the changes, the transition of comics into Hollywood, the effects of the internet in the comic book industry, Bryan Singer, Superman Returns, Smallville, and much, much more. Comic books we reviewed this week include Superman Batman Annual No. 2, which was reviewed by Michael Bailey, who rated it a 4 out of 5, saying, I wasn't expecting much and came away surprised at not only how good it was, but how much I liked it. Michael also reviewed Justice League of America 19, saying, this grows more and more frustrating as the months go on, and rated it a 3 out of 5. Countdown to Final Crisis 6 was reviewed by Adam DeChannel, who gave it a 2 out of 5, while Adam also reviewed Super Friends No. 1, saying, the poorly hidden morale, messages and words of wisdom, friendship and faith are delivered with all the subtlety of a punch in the face. However, it is actually a really, really good book. He rated it a 4 out of 5. Death of the New Gods No. 7 was reviewed by Neal Bailey, who said, this series turned around fairly quickly in this issue and became once again enjoyable, and he gave it a 4 out of 5. Neal also reviewed Tangent Superman's Reign No. 1, giving it a 5 out of 5, saying, I'm digging it, it's odd, I want to give it room to breathe. While James Lance took a look back in time, reviewing the classic pre-crisis issue Action Comics 489, which contained the story titled Krypton Dies Again, he gave it a 5 out of 5, saying, some things may seem dated or hokey by today's standards of storytelling, but this issue is what a Superman comic should be like. Superman comic shipping this week from March 26 include, and there are only two, All-Star Superman number 10, Countdown to Final Crisis 5. And if you haven't bought this week's comics yet, DC released a 5-page sneak peek at All-Star Superman number 10, which you can see all 5 pages at the Superman homepage now. In 1975, Murray Bishop and Alan Light, founder of Comic Books Buyer's Guide, interviewed Superman co-creator Jerry Siegel at the San Diego Comic Convention. Joining Jerry for the interview were his wife Joanne, original model for Lois Lane, and their daughter Laura. The audio interview was recorded, and the unedited recording runs over 30 minutes and is presented at the Superman homepage now for the first time ever in its complete format. You can download the 3-part MP3 files at the website now. George Reeves' signed poster is amongst the huge range of movie and television memorabilia going under the hammer at the Profiles in History $4 million auction. The upcoming 2-day auction on March 27 and 28 begins at 11 AM both days. Bids can be placed either in person, via email, phone, fax, or live on the internet via ebayliveauctions.com. Canada's Ottawa Citizen website celebrates the Man of Steel's 70th anniversary with an article and interactive feature. The article, titled Superman at 70, features a historical look back at Superman's creation, his development over the years, with comments from experts and industry personalities. The online interactive feature is a flash site that contains audio excerpts from the 1940s radio series, Fleischer cartoons, comic book image gallery, character bios, and audio interviews with various experts, including an interview with me. Superman homepage reviewer James Lance continues reviewing story arcs from the 1940s Superman radio series. This week he reviewed the Ghost Car story, which sees Lois and Clark investigating a series of mysterious accidents which seem to involve a phantom car. The Superman homepage was pleased to present episode 39 of Radio KAL, the monthly podcast of the Superman homepage, hosted by myself and Neal Bailey. In this month's Radio KAL show, we discuss Superman and JLA movie news, Justice League The New Frontier, Smallville Season 8, end of Legion of Superheroes animated series, James Robinson coming on board the Superman comics, Superman the Music 8 CD collection, and much more. Be sure to also check out the Last Son of Krypton Chapter 39 and Lost Daughter of Krypton Chapter 11 audio dramas. Next week we'll be unveiling our new Speeding Bulletin logo, but until then, that's all the Superman related news for the week, March 21st to March 27. My name is Steve Younis from supermanhomepage.com. Hi, welcome to the Bailey Planet. Today we're going to talk about Superman number 674. A brief review and summation. 2 pages of setup. 7.5 pages about how cool Superman's new house is. Note, no conflict. Same thing that bugged me about the annual. And also of note, setting up a setting for a run that is concluding. And then a whole bunch of stuff about Largan, which has pretty much already been established, except for talking about the bad guys, which coincidentally appear 10 pages later, and a fight with a very, very obscure villain that no one has ever heard of when there are perfectly good Rogues Gallery villains around, including a very nice exploitive shot with Power Girl and Wonder Woman. So, in other words,